You know I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made, Milestone flow, I kick it a back day. Yeah, I got game, got in a fan way. We the city of the champs, every sport we play. Spit wetter than the harbor, yeah, I'm flowing like the Charles. I be speeding on this beat, call it turnpike miles. Yeah, it's Google signing on, John to the Hancock, and I'm always key, I'm ready to unlock. I be
300 straight weeks, every single Sunday without missing a beat. That's 2,100 days of being dedicated to spreading a message or helping people in some way, but also being dedicated to my own craft and practicing to make sure that I'm ready for everything that set the plan in motion those 2,100 days ago. The goal of the dream that said, just start in some way. And since then, the growth is visible on screen for sure, but even more visible in other areas of my life. And I say all of that not to bring the focus to myself, not to toot my own horn in some way, but to bring the idea to you, to bring the question to you. How long would you put the effort into something before you saw the results become visible? And I want it to be in your head as this video goes on. Guys, I'm Billy Gianlutis, and welcome to Once a Week. If you guys are new here, or maybe you're someone who hasn't subscribed yet, guys, please hit that button below so you can keep up with all the messages that we put out there to you. You can look forward to a new one every single Sunday. But when thinking about this 300th message, my mind started to run and where I could take it. Do I do a recap of great messages from the past? Do I just keep the ball rolling with another inspiring message like all the other weeks I've done? And then I really started to think on how long it's been since Once a Week started. Because when all of this started, guys, I was down and I was out. I was broken. My life was in shambles, and truthfully, all I had was my dream of speaking, motivating, inspiring, and helping others. Because that's all I've ever wanted to do since I was a kid. And in being in that pain at the time, I hated it. I just wanted life to change. I didn't want to hurt anymore. I didn't want to sit and just let life pass on by as I sat meditating on what I thought wasn't right in my life. And I use the air quotes there because my perspective back then was that it wasn't right. Looking back, I am so very grateful for how things were at the time, no matter the pain that I felt. And prior to filming that very first video back then, you can still find on YouTube, I was so lost. And I would sit and I would pray on how could I just make my dream happen? It was all I had, so it was the only direction that I could truly move in. And honestly, it's a very great thing to have all of your options narrowed to what is meant for you. Because regardless of what your dream is, it's yours. It was given to you for a reason, so you could be the one to bring it to life, so you can bring it to the world. And when it is your only option, it is the only place that you can take a step in, that you can take a step towards. And in sitting and praying on what to do, all I heard was just start. Just start. So how do we start anything that we want to be successful at? We learn and we practice. So I went out and I bought whatever camera I could afford and started practicing. That's why in the first video 300 weeks ago, I'm yelling, I'm screaming, because that was in January in Massachusetts. So it's winter time, and I had been in the cold woods filming for 7 straight hours that day, just trying to get the right take that I could start this with. Agonizing and freezing. But there was not an ounce of quit in me, because I needed to take this step to get to where I wanted to be. I didn't know how it could come together down the line, but I knew I had to do this. And I did it. I took a leap of faith in posting it for the world, and I just kept going. Every single week later, no matter the message, no matter how long it took to film the video, there would be a video coming out because I was dedicated to my craft and my goal and my dream. I wanted to get better. I wanted to be the best. I wanted to help people in whatever way I could. And opportunities started to come in. And our messages with Once a Week became more honed in to truly help you see the personal power and the strength sitting at your fingertips when you can tap into them. Incredible. But if you've kept up with Once a Week or just periodically tuned in, you see the change in me from someone speaking through his pain to someone owning it and moving in confidence to what he's dedicated to and helping people and honing his craft. The growth happened, and the growth is constantly happening. And I say all of that to you because the question comes to mind. If someone came to you and asked, how long would you be willing to dedicate yourself and put the work into something before you saw the result that you dream about? What would your answer be? A week, a month, a year, a few years? You don't know what the end result is or what that dream looks like per se, but you know at some point it will happen. Would you continue to put the effort and the time in, time and time again, without all the details, just trusting that it is all coming together? Your answer is yours to that. But what we call that, if you said yes, is faith. Because it takes blind faith to hear the message of just start 300 weeks ago and then to dedicate yourself to what you know you're meant to do on and off the camera. Living life for sure, but having a priority of moving forward in the direction that you're meant to move in. Blind faith is what we're all called to move in. No matter how great times can be and no matter how tough times can be, having that priority, that set focal point of where you're headed, allows you to stay dedicated knowing what you asked for will come to you. Because as much as it's on its way, thanks to your thoughts and your prayers, which have so much power, but also in your efforts, because you're walking towards it just as much. We are all called to be great. And in pursuing what is meant for us, what is on our hearts to create in life, no matter the time frame, in the pursuit, we see ourselves come alive. We see the skills and the talents hone themselves from our dedication. And then we see the pieces come together, which brings the joy into life even more so. You start to live life with that. To walk in faith to where you're meant to be, trusting that your work is paying off, even when you might not see it yet. That is a skill each of us has. And to step into that can be so weird at first. But to move forward in that creates a world of change, externally, but greatly internally. You become who you're meant to be while on the journey to where you're meant to be. And that's a fact. In over 300 weeks of Once a Week, you can see that in me. I was my own experiment here. You can look at it on YouTube. But I felt that this needed to be the 300th episode because one factor will always stand out no matter how long it has been. To show up for your goal or your dream, and more so yourself, day after day and week after week, trusting that the work being put in is paying off. That in itself is your confirmation that what you seek and are trusting for is coming to you. Take that step for yourself and stay dedicated no matter what. And watch how you change for the better and your life then changes for the better because it all starts with you. Trust the process and have faith in the process. I draw a line there. But after 300 straight weeks, I thank you guys so much for being here and for being a part of all of it because I'm excited to see where the road goes from here. Guys, I always say it, but please like this message on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, as always, but share this message with someone else. someone that you know has that dream or that goal in their heart. And I know it seems like a long time. Time's only ticking away. Why not dedicate it to what you're meant to do, to what you feel in your heart you're meant to do? And guys, if you or anyone you know is in need of a coach who can step in and help in that dedication to yourself and your goal process to move forward to where you're meant to be, guys, head to BillyGLifeCoaching.com. You can set up a free call with me. I'm going to be right there for you. 300 straight weeks, guys. You know, I sit there and I laugh at it, because when you set the tone for yourself and you dedicate yourself to where you know you're meant to go, whether your options are narrowed to only one step that you can take, whether you look at that as a beautiful thing, or whether you look at that as, you know, a struggle sometimes, it was exactly how it was meant to come together. So I'm grateful for 300 straight messages. I'm grateful for where the road's headed. I'm grateful, and you can see it in me every single week, the joy that spreads in these videos, because whether it's I'm speaking something to you and you take it and you run with it, because I know when there's power behind it, because I can feel it, but it's also joyful for me because I know where this started. I know the cold woods this started in, and then now there's a roof over our heads, and that's a beautiful thing. There's a heating element now, and it's not just me freezing in the winter. So I'm grateful for that. But guys, to take a step in any direction, whatever is on your heart to do, to prioritize that step, whether it's every single day or it's every single week or whatever it looks like for you, to prioritize what is meant for you and to take a step towards that whenever you can. Believe me, that's when life gets good. To not give in to the distractions, to put aside what might be pulling you away from your goal or your dream, and to really hone in, to focus on what is meant for you. Watch life change. That's the beauty of all this. Whether it's a day, whether it's 300 straight weeks, 2,100 days later, watch as you grow. Watch as your life starts to come together, but watch as your confidence, your belief in yourself grows to the point where you can walk out into the world, into any setting, and be fully, wholeheartedly you, the best you, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, and walk that out. That's a confidence, that's a dedication, that's a belief in yourself that just echoes, and it is something. Again, I said at the start of the video, I do not say this to toot my own horn. I was the experiment here, and it will continue to be an experiment. We are all walking our own path in life, walking our own journey in life. But to take those steps for yourself, why not test the waters and see how great things can get when you follow what's meant for you? I'll close it off there, guys. Like I said, please like this message, subscribe if you haven't already, share it to someone you know. And if you haven't checked out our new Mindset Mastery course to really hone in, to understand how powerful you can actually be, guys, click the link in the description and just see what it's all about. If you want to enroll, the option's right there for you to really hone in. But guys, I thank you so much for being here. 300 straight weeks. If you kept up, if you've been here every single week, I am so grateful for you. It's grown, it's awesome. But guys, I thank you so much for being a part of it. Not done. 300 straight. Until next week. Have a good one, guys.
You know I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made, Milestone flow, I kick it back there. Yeah, I got game, God in a fan way. We the city of the champs, every sport we play. Spit wetter than the harbor, yeah, I'm flowing like the